All right.
No. Yeah.
Wagwan, wagwan, wagwan.
Boy,
You know what
Bridging
I'm saying?
Dan,
Major Key.
live on the
Major
rack.
views, man. In the building on a Friday night. Shout out to everybody out there, my boxing brothers and sisters. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Johnny Blaze, Tony Boswell, Jay Blues, Peter Von Arks, everybody else joining right now. Listen, man, we got the boss man. Yo, hey, listen. You hear me?
Talk to me.
You hear me?
Talk to me
The
live.
boss man.
Respect, John.
Mr. Grant, what I deal with? How y'all doing, brother?
Well, Bridging, it's a long road.
Yo,
It's a long
hey,
road.
pleasure to
And
have you here, my brethren. Listen, I'm gonna let Troy,
likewise.
like I said before the program, Troy's gonna be holding this down. I'm gonna let him hold it down, but I'll be in the background. I'm gonna drop the link into the chat. So if anybody wants
Yes,
to
sir.
join, but yo, a pleasure having you here, man. I'm interested in listening to what your story is, man. While I sit in the sideline for a minute, and if it goes on long enough, I'll jump right back in. All right, brother.
That's the deal, brother. Respect.
All right, thank you, sir.
Bless up and respect one and all, one and all. All right. Tonight we have a special guest from my country. Most people, most people would say he's the man, but we know him as the boss man, aka
Real talk.
Uriah, former
Yeah.
cruiserweight champion and conqueror of Tommy Hearns. Uriah the boss man Grant from St. Andrews. What's going on, brethren? What's going on?
Star, give thanks. It's like I'm in another dimension right now. I really appreciate you guys because sometimes I think I am forgetting. They forgot I'm existed. So when someone like you showed up and try and have me on the surface, I really appreciate it. And it's been a long road, man. And where do I start from?
Well, I tell you what. Why don't you tell us how a little young youth from St. Andrews Parish ended up becoming world cruiserweight champion? Why don't you start there?
You know, I let's start. I went to Papine Senior High in Papine, and when I graduated from school, when I graduated in 1978, I had no jobs. I had nothing to do, so I got involved in some things I shouldn't get involved in. But I quickly get myself back on track and erase myself from amongst the guys that I was with, cause it was like to call it bad apples. So I got away from them. In a matter of fact, I got to leave Jamaica to stay alive.
Mm.
And so I came to the US in 1980, and I wasn't smart enough. I went back the following year. When I went back to Jamaica, I said, "Wow, what game am I playing?" So I finally returned back to US and decided I must pick up some boxing where I started. I I found a guy in West Palm Beach named Johnny O'Brien. Johnny O'Brien got a good gym. I entered his gym and I said, Johnny, I need a fight. He said, I can get you to the Olympic. I said, no, I can't do an Olympic right now. I want to turn pro. Johnny gave my first pro fight with a guy named Rafael Bolanos. Rafael Bolancos. He's from Cuba. Johnny tell me the guy got two fights. He win one and he lost the other. I believed him. So I said, okay, then I'll give it a shot. The night of the fight, the guy started pretty good in the first rounds. But in the second rounds, he made a mistake and he get caught. It only was a 1-2. And I remember when the arena was about to be empty, he was still sitting there. I knocked him out cold in the second round. The following morning, a friend of mine named Vinny Mays ran to my apartment and said, "Hey, Grant, look at this." It was in the paper, in the front page of the Miami Herald.
In the
And
Star?
in the Miami Herald, the
Okay.
front page. So the paper said Bolanos got 11 fights with 11 knockouts. I said, wow, so they lied to me. So my career began with a lie. And my career end with a lie. But I'm the overcome I overcame them regardless. And again my career been rough, man. I get fed to the lion, the tiger, you name them. There was nothing easy for me. Again, my career began with a lie, deceiving. Cause again, they say I'm a guy from Jamaica who no one knew. So I got to make my path clear for myself. I make myself my own name, regardless. If I allow them, then I will be nowhere. I wouldn't achieve nothing that I have achieved. But again, I got the willpower that boxing is something I decided I want to take up. And I appreciate the fight with Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali. That's where I got started.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's it's been a rough road, brother.
Yeah, man. I actually want to step in here real quick because you said you're fit to the lines. I'm just gonna rattle off a few names that you fought. Right? You
Go
fought
ahead.
Frank. You fought Frank Tate. Right?
Okay.
You
Yes,
fought
sir.
Al the Iceman Cole. Right?
Twice.
Right. And Adolfo Washington. Right?
For yes.
Henry Tillman.
That's correct.
Yeah, and Bobby Ches.
That's correct.
Russell.
I got robbed like a dog on Bobby Chess fight. Go on.
Where did you fight him? Where did you fight Bobby?
Atlantic City.
That's why. That's why.
In a matter of fact, I don't cut it. And the Bobby Chess fight in the 10th rounds, in the first rounds, I caught Bobby Chess with a 1-2. Bobby Chess was out. I'm lying. In the second, I'm sorry. In the second rounds, I caught him with a 1-2. Bobby Chess was out, and instantly the bell rang. A minute and a half into the fight, the bell
What?
rang. Believe that? Oh yeah, man. Check it for yourself. A
Yes.
minute and a half into the last rounds, the bell rang. Cartier was out. But they got save him, you know. No disrespect, what they got save him, and they did. I never got a rematch. I just let loose and get a loss and bygone be bygone. It's their world, and I was in their world, so it's almost impossible to beat them. The only way to beat them is to knock their ass out. And to be frank, if my first 20 win, I think I like 90 knockout. So it's been a rough road, brother. But again, I become more of my enemies' wishes, you know. That I'm from Jamaica and I shouldn't be beating these guys. And again, I beat quite a few guys with good name. Look at a guy like Matisad Mohammed. He just
Yeah.
lost his world title. Yeah.
Yes, you did. You know what? You know what, brother Grant? Your story
Yes, sir.
is close to another one of our countrymen who was a boxer, Glenn Johnson.
Oh,
He had
Glenn.
a yeah, he had a series of things happen to him, much like yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
And he found the strength to push on through, as the song says, right?
Yes,
I
sir. That's correct.
I guess yeah. I guess it's the soul of us Jamaicans. We don't let nothing stop us. Out of many we are one, right?
That's correct. That's so correct. I asked myself many times, how do we get by? But we get by for some reason, and I can't figure it out. So I stopped asking questions because I asked so many questions, but there's pretty much no answer. So I just continue with life regardless.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us how you got the name the Boss Man? Tell us the origins of that one.
You know, I had a good friend named Vinny Mays, and Vinny Mays called himself the boss man. I said, man, Vinny, that name ain't for you. So I just started from him and started using it. You gotta you gotta be a gangster sometime. Not like I want to, but you have to sometime to survive. So I took the name from him, and from that day, he no longer could hold that name. It belongs to me because I got the willpower to prove that I am. I think I did. So that's
Yeah.
true.
You know what that sounds like?
Talk to me.
You know how yeah, you know how your granny buy you some nice shoes for church, and then the following year, you grow, and she make you squeeze into the same shoes, and your corner bun up and everything, and you're like, man, this don't fit me. And you have to pass it on to your brother, man, until you get something else that fits you. So
That's
that's how you came up
correct.
with the boss man, right?
Again, I take it. I take it because I think it belongs to me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Hey, listen,
but
man. We got Bruce Goes in the building, man. I just wanted to jump in real quick, right?
What's up,
Because
Bruce?
what you said, brother, made me think about this, man. I just wanted to let y'all hear this. Let me know if y'all can hear this, man. Because I
Clear.
definitely wanted y'all to hear this real quick. So,
Mm-hmm.
based on what you were just saying, Mr. Grant, all right? Hold on one
Yes,
second. It's
sir.
popping up right now.
and then I have a quick question after that.
All right. Hold on.
Okay.
Tell me if y'all hear it in just a second. There we go.
Neighbor, how many jobs you got? One. One job. One job, and you get up and help out with other patients. Oh, I want you up. You go, Fatty Pie. Come on, Fatty Pie. Step up. What's up? Listen to your daughter-in-law. Let me
Whoa,
tell
what's
you
that?
something, girl. Today, your lazy husband, Byron. My son, I was working 6 jobs, no man. I was a wedding photographer, meet and meet, shoe salesman, swimming instructor, sushi chef, and taking a bar exam, all while delivering his lazy fetus. Oh. Get up now, you're fine. I think I better lie down. Lying down, that's what got you in the first place, you lazy rabbit killer. Oh, what's What's the matter with
Yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead, man. I just thought y'all would get a kick out of it. Interrupt the
Yeah.
group.
Hey, hold on real quick, Bruce, before you jump in. I have a question from the chat for you. You know, brother Grant from
Go ahead.
yeah. There's a brother in the chat called Witness the Host, and you know he wants to know if you ever went to the Olympics.
No, I never did. I never did.
Okay, so did you have a chance to, or were you like a late bloomer in the sport?
Well, in a matter of fact, as I said again, the guy making West Palm Beach, Johnny O'Brien, was my first promoter as a professional, and he asked me to go to try to go to the Olympics. So I deny. I don't want to go to the Olympic. I want to go straight to the pro, which he did introduce me to the pro. I had no
Oh,
desire to go. Yeah, I had no desire for no more amateur. I had 12 amateur fights. I won 11, and to me that was enough. So I need to go to another dimension. So I choose to go pro.
all right. Then I tell you what, we have a gentleman here who's very knowledgeable in boxing. His name is Bruce Groves, and I know he has some
Bruce.
questions for you, man. So go ahead, Bruce. Go ahead and step in.
Yeah, Bruce. Talk
Uriah
to me.
Grant, Uriah Grant, man, Major Troy, champ. It's a pleasure to meet you, man. But I've been following your career for a little bit, man. Your 20-year professional career. You knocked out all the people you beat except for two. You were known as a man with a cement chin and fists of iron. And I know you mentioned. No, seriously, bro. You know you were. Now, one thing you were mentioning how your management was kind of off in your career. How did you get stuck with Henry Tillman on his professional debut?
Again, I was fed to the lion, the tiger, you name them, and he was one of them. I mean, I just turned pro. I had
Are you still there, Uriah? Hello.
I think he's on mute.
I think you're on mute. Oh, I'm gonna text him real quick and see if I can let him know he's on mute.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's still here. He's still here because everybody's still here. Everything's going.
Okay.
And I see. Yeah, there he goes. He's coming. He's back. I can see.
He's back.
If you look at his screen, it looks like the letter is moving. So he's talking. It's just probably a bad connection.
Are you talking to me?
There you go. Yes, we're talking to you.
Okay, I'm still here. I will just listen to what you guys saying first. Okay, but where was that again? I kind of missed around.
We were talking about Henry Tillman. Why you had to fight
Oh, yeah.
Henry Tillman in his pro debut?
Where I was for Chris Dunn gave me that fight, and as a fighter who believed in myself, I never said no. That was part of my problem. I never said no. I never deny. When there's a fight made, I accept it. I go forward. I win some and I lost some. With the Tillman fight, the very first rounds, I knocked him down. Period. Tillman got up onto a whole bunch of punch that made no sense, never got hit, referee jump in and stop the fight. That was a nightmare. Never got hit one time decent, but the fight was stopped. Tillman is the winner. Again, I'm the little man from Jamaica who no one knows. So whatever happened, that's happened and it's gone. Another highway robber. Can I review that? No. It's happened, it's done, it's boxing. It's a great sport with some dirty people, some filthy people. Highway robbery. But life goes on regardless.
Yeah, it's still like that today, as you know. One more. Now I know it took you a while to win a world title, and you were forced to defend that title within 5 months of winning it. You don't see that today. You see somebody win a title and they'll sit on it for a year. Why weren't you given that luxury?
it was less than 5 months, and in a matter of fact, I just won it, and I was forced to fight another guy who I never was interested in. Number one, the guy who the forced me to fight was in England. I went to England to fight this guy, and that was a nightmare right off back. Why is the nightmare? They put us in a hotel in some dungeon when there's nothing to eat. Came
Wow.
from the restaurant to buy some food. And I remember I went to this little cafeteria to get some pizza. I said, let me get some of the pepperoni pizza. It says tomato pizza. Again, nothing to eat. The day of the fight, I had, sorry to say this, excuse me. The day of the fight, I got diarrhea. Because there's nothing to eat. And I'm fighting a man in his home country. Can I beat this guy? Yes, I can. You gotta knock him out. I didn't have the strength. And I lost my first defense of my title into a country which I shouldn't be. Never get some food to eat. Never get. I went there today and fight tomorrow. It's a bunch of nightmares. So again, I've been treated like a outcast, but I still hold my. I still got a mindset that I continue to do what I can to achieve back what I can, and that was the so far, brother. It's been crazy, man. But I'm here.
Yes.
That's definitely. And then going into Thomas Hearns' backyard, I wanted to see if Thomas Hearns' right hand could dent you, and I wanted to see if your big right hand could dent him. And unfortunately, we never had that chance. But that was a great victory for you, brother. And that's what you're going to remember. You're going to be remembered for that, forever, brother. And we're here to keep the memories alive. Don't even think about us. You ever being forgotten.
Do you watch the fight? What caused Earn to quit? Did you really see it?
His
Yeah.
ankle was his ankle,
No,
right?
no,
No.
no. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was a fake. It was a 1-2. If you watch the fight over again, it was a 1-2 punch, and if you notice his leg wobble, and right away he gave me the fake ass, but it was his hanger. That was a lie. But again, he couldn't bite me like the Mike did with the Holyfield. So he finds something extra to do, was to fake his hanger. It was a lie, but hey, he got away with it. And then he did tell his crowd he gonna have a rematch. The rematch was impossible because I asked him over and over, when is the rematch? Because I want to prove to him that he was lying. The rematch never happens. I understand.
But Mr. Grant, would you
Yes,
say it was,
sir.
would you say that his leg maybe he was doing the butterfly or something like that, and he was just really happy?
He was a fake to get out. If you notice, the entire stadium was behind him, and the entire stadium booed somebody. It wasn't me, because I was all right. So if they're booing somebody, it got to be the person who quit. It got to be Hearn.
Got you.
I
Right.
understand he was embarrassed, but again, I do what I got to do. I know, again, going into the fight, I knew Tommy Hearn couldn't beat me. A year prior to the Hearn fight, I was a sparring partner with the Aaron Barkley fight. So I knew all about Hearn going into the fight. Don't ask me why they picked me for that fight. I wasn't smart, but again, they're looking for someone who can get by really easy, and I was not that person because this was one of the fights I was in the best shape you could think of for this fight because I knew that Hearn was a great fighter. Don't get me wrong, I respect Hearn to the max. He's one of the greatest you will ever find walk into the ring. So going into the fight, I make sure I was 120% in shape. So for him to beat me, then he had to be really ready, and he never was.
Tell us about those sparring matches with Iran, because you know what? I had that name in my head to ask you about, and since you brought it up, you just yeah. Tell us about those sparring matches with you and Iran Barkley.
No, 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 no. It was me and Earn. I sparred with
Oh,
Earn in the
Hearn,
boxing
sorry.
fight. Yes, I was Thomas Earl chief sparring partner for the Barkley fight, so I knew a lot about Hearn going into this fight. In a matter of fact, I went to spar Hearn in Atlantic City, and then we flew to Detroit. I sparred Hearn about probably 3 4 times. I don't ask me why. They employ me, and I really sparred with him. I guess I wasn't the sparring partner I was looking for. He was trying to find a punching bag, and I guess I wasn't a punching bag, so I didn't get much time to spar with him. But I knew enough about him that he couldn't beat me, regardless of what shape or form he was in the whole fight.
Yeah, but that makes sense because every time I saw you fight, there's a similarity between you and Barkley. His punches are a little wider, but you all have a similarity of how you certain things you do and how you move. So I can understand why they chose you as a sparring partner.
Yes, sir. Great.
Now,
But
though,
I'm here.
after
I'm here
yeah,
still doing what I can do, brother. Taking again. I just give a shout out to my wife Dorothy, my daughter Rosemary, my son Uriah, original Grant, and my son Jonathan. I should have done it from the beginning, so I got towards him before his hand.
okay. Now, right, in all your travels in the sport, did you ever have any dealings with Don King?
Yes, I did, man. I had when I had a I was number 4 in the IBF, and the
Hmm.
IBF need a boxer between the top 4 guys to fight for the championship. Don King picked it. He got 3 guys in front of me. I was number 4, and he apparently put me to the side and said I won't be involved in the box off. So the IBF said, no, Grant is number 4, so there are 3 guys in front of him. These 3 guys must fight for the number 1 position. And Don King said, okay, then let's play the game. So he gave me his number 1 guy. In fact, he was number 2, and I was number 4. That was Saul Montana. And I flew to his state to fight him. And apparently, he got knocked out in the 4th round, I think. So when I knocked him out in the 4th rounds, there was number 3 and number I'm lying. Let's take it back. I was number 5. There was number 3, number 2, and number 1. So the box up now, I fought the number 2 guy, and the 2 guys ahead of me should fight, and then I should fight the winner, and then the winner of those 5 becomes the number 1 rank guy. So after I knocked out Montana, then those 2 guys decided that they won't fight me regardless. So the IBF moved me to number 1 from number 5. So I became number 1. Now because number 1, I got to fight Mr. Adolfo Washington.
Yeah.
So that fight was set. That fight was set for Florida. Apparently, the fight against Adolfo Washington was, I must say, is one of the best fighters I ever climbed the ring with. And that fight was a 12 rounds fight that I decided I can't quit. And I think I gave it all that I could. I was inside of me. And I won a championship that night.
Now let's move it fast forward to like present. Let's say present day right now, right?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go. Let's start at light heavyweight. Let's say if you were still fighting at light heavyweight, because that's where you started, right? You
That's where
started
it
light heavy,
started.
right?
That's correct.
I think the 2 top guys and Major and Bruce, you might have to help me out. The 2 top guys right now, light heavyweight, are Better Beeve and who else? Who's the other one?
Bivol.
Bivol. I don't know if you've seen them fight. Have you seen those 2 fight?
To be frank, no, I don't, because after I resigned from boxing,
All right.
I cheated so bad I said, man, to hell with boxing. So I walk away from it. Don't watch it no more. Don't care. But I guess what? I'm gonna get involved again. Sorry for that.
That seems to be the sentiment of most older fighters. And you're not training or managing or anything like that, right?
No, I'm not, but I'm getting ready to go back into the game. But I'm gonna go to Jamaica and train some fighters in Jamaica because those are my people. I know what they can do, and all they need is some help. So I'm gonna take my ass back to Jamaica and open a gym and get some fighters, put on some shows, and get some guys to get back into the game.
Bossman Boxing Gym, right?
You know what? That is the name. So it got something with Boss Man. I cannot leave Boss Man out.
Go. There you go. Hey, there's three of us on here, gentlemen. So don't have me hog the stage, man, because I have a ton of questions. But jump in anytime you like. Well, no, Bruce. Yeah, Bruce. You have
Yeah,
any
no,
more
I was
questions?
I was going to piggyback on Saul Montana because that was a great fight. I mean, that was when Tuesday Night Fights was singing. Yeah, I mean, your name was in everybody's living room, and I have to agree with you too. It's hard to be a boxing fan today. It really is to keep track of all the belts, all the fragmented titles. I mean, you need a scorecard just to watch a fight, and plus you have to spend $80 for a pay-per-view. They're robbing us with unproven talent. But anyway, I was going to go to Saul Montana because I know you knocked him out in that first fight, but then you fought him a couple of years later with a different result. What was up with that fight?
Man, that fight, I went into the fight, and the day of the fight, I came with the flu, and I said, you know what? I knocked him out the first time, so I'm gonna try to do it again. That was a mistake because after certain rounds, I lost all my strength. The flu drained me, and I lost the fight. It was pretty bad. I shouldn't, but again, it's part of the game.
Hey,
I never try to find an excuse, but I lost the fight, brother. So that's it.
no, and if any series, that fight deserved a trilogy.
Repeat that.
Yeah, it deserved a trilogy. It deserved another fight, a third fight. But unfortunately, that where boxing is a game of what ifs.
What if? Yeah. I exited the game after I fought a couple more years, a couple more fights after that, and then I decided it's time to go because I lost the drive, I lost the love. It wasn't there no more. So it was like an empty shell going in the ring. Once I lost the love for the sports, and it's time to leave. You're gonna be brain dead soon. So I exited.
No, but that's a blessing because you actually realize that there's a lot of fighters that try to force on where they should walk away, right? And then nothing good happens after that once you try to force something, because boxing is kind of like a spiritual thing. And if she tells you that it's time to go, then you need to listen and leave. But we have another gentleman in here called Mr. Sinister. And I know he would like to ask you a few questions there, Boss Man. So, Brother Sinister, step up and be heard, man.
All right. Salute, Troy. Salute, Bruce.
Salute, Sinister.
All right, Mr. Grant, thank you for taking time to come on. And I just wanted to ask you, is there any Jamaican prospects that we should keep an eye out on that's up and coming that's going to be fighting?
Troy Graham.
Troy Graham. Okay, to be frank, I won't lie to you. Again, I say I walk away from the sports, but I'm getting involved one more time. So I'm going to be back with all those names, those current and those young fighters who can do something good. So I'm about to enter the game one more time to me and try to make a difference. Cause
Are you still there? Uriah, are you still there?
Bruce?
I can hear everybody. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I say again, I'm about to get back in Jamaica and open a gym, get my guys together and get back into the game because the game right now is wide open. And I think if I get myself in the game, we can make a difference in boxing right now because it's kind of weak right now.
I have a question for you. Did you ever work with trainer Tommy Brooks?
I knew a little about Brooks. I've not worked with him, but I knew about him.
Yeah, great trainer, man. Great trainer. 25 world champions and many Hall of Famers. How about
25. Wow.
Yeah, 25. Yeah. How about Cell Torrance? You ever heard of him?
No, I
He's
don't.
another. He's another one. He has 21 champions, and he came up on the Eddie Fudge.
Oh, Eddie
Yeah,
Ford. Yeah, okay, great. I know Eddie Ford's pretty good. Yes.
yeah. So yeah. That's kind of funny. I don't know if any great trainers from back home, man. Do we have any great trainers from back home?
Man, my trainer was a guy named Amlet McKenzie. Trevor Amlet McKenzie was a pretty good fighter to man. Not, yeah, he have not entered the limelight, but he was a pretty fighter, good fighter in Jamaica. So he was my trainer in Florida with a guy named Banana. Banana was do shit his way, and Amlet is somewhere still in Florida, doing pretty good, I guess. But Jamaica got some good guys. My trainer was a guy named Alex Walker. He to me was a real damn good trainer. But again, they was in Jamaica and they never get a chance to leave Jamaica. And if you don't have fighters out of the country, they won't be recognized as a good trainer. Is that you gotta get yourself in the picture. And so yes, there were some good fighters. There was some good trainers in Jamaica. Alex Walker, Petey Tough, quite a few of them.
I've never heard any trainers coming out of Jamaica now. How about any female fighters, Uriah? Have you heard of any up and coming female fighters coming from the island?
No, not up and coming. No, because again, since I walk away from the sport I was interested in, I never try to find um, any information about who is available, who got potential, who can, and who will. I never did. But as I said again, I'm getting ready to enter the sports one more time and try make a difference. Since I know all the crooked lane in the sports, maybe I can do some of that. Because again, these people, they need to expose some of them so they can stop use people as cannibal or animals. My plug-in, my truck.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna ask Bruce to jump back in here, man. If you have any more questions, there, Bruce.
Yeah, I remember you talking a little while ago, mentioning about the hanky panky when you go overseas. They playing with your food, they're playing with your hotel accommodations. Now we heard that a little while ago. Lamont Brewster said the same thing, and and historically it goes. George Foreman when he was in Zaire. Pretty much the same thing, and it looks like it's happening again today. And I noticed late in your career you did a lot. You did a lot of world traveling. Did you notice that again in any of your later fights?
No, not really. That was the only fight I really got sabotaged was the fight in England. If the fight is in the state, then we know exactly where to go. Cause it's gonna be in another state, but we know about the United States where the restaurants are, so we could always maneuver and get what we need to gain our strength. I went to France. It wasn't that bad in France. It that they were nasty in France, and but still, I get my meal what I expected to gain my strength. England was the only nightmare, and
Yeah,
I'm not trying to put England down, but they did me bad in England.
So any advice to any fighters that are traveling over? Should they keep their guards up? Maybe bring a lot of canned foods with them, and bring their own water. Make sure there's no hanky panky going on, because we're talking a multi-million-dollar business here, where it just seems like it's so rampant, and we hear a lot of accusations, and a lot of dreams destroyed from this backstage bullshit going on, and that's a great goal for you,
The,
sir.
the problem with
Definitely
the
expose some
boxing
of
world
that.
today is
Did you fall off, or can you still hear us?
with a scheme.
Okay,
With
there
the,
you go.
they never treat the fighter the way they should, and I must say with no apology, all fighters to me are great, wonderful people. The scavenger, the scumbags, I may say, are the manager and the promoter. The schemer, the criminal. But the fighters, man, you gotta respect them. and I do respect them. All of them, not some, all, regardless.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what Troy and Major do over here. You know, we bring back fighters who retired. We try to keep their visions going. We try to keep their names out there. And man, you're definitely a pleasure to have here talking to, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the stories. I'm sure everybody else out there does too.
I appreciate you all too, man. It's a pleasure, brother. No doubt.
yeah, because you know what, Uriah, I've always said that fighters coming into the sport, they should understand that they are the business. Boxing's a vehicle. Boxing is just a vehicle, but they are the actual business, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah, and they should conduct themselves as such. They should get themselves a real good lawyer, right? But at the same time, they should be able to manage their own career, and handle all the negotiations while the lawyer is sitting in the room with them, right? He knows the ins and outs, but you know what you really want, right?
If if you can afford a lawyer, then you can. But I mean, if you're gonna go to a lawyer and talk to them, the first thing for them is money. You got to pay some money. What if you're a
Well,
young fight? If you're a young man, got no income, you got no salary, you got nothing. Or can pay a lawyer?
why? That's why you might have to parcel off some shares of yourself, because you're the business, right?
Yes, sir.
So
What about
you
the young?
find
What about the young fighters who just enter in the sports? What do they do?
that's the same thing. They come up with an investment group. They find an investment group, and I'm making it sound so easy. I understand that it's not. Trust me, but it's just
Okay.
a plan that I would have now because I know better now, right? So yeah,
Yes, sir.
you come,
That's correct.
yeah. So you come with a group of investors, and you get yourself a good lawyer, and even if you have to sell 30 30% of yourself to the investors, and you keep 70, that's where you get your money from. And then as your career goes on, you could always buy
No,
that
no.
30% back.
Okay, makes sense. But at the same time, remember your manager's getting 33 and 1/3% of your income.
Woo!
Remember that.
No, 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 no,
Your
no, no, no. But that's
trainer,
why you manage yourself.
your
That's why
trainer
you manage yourself.
is not that easy. I'm into this a little easier than before. But managers they're getting 33 and 1/3% of your income. The trainer getting 10%. That's 43 and 1/3% up right there. If you get a lawyer and gotta pay him 30%, you leave with nothing. You get me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you. That sounds rough, but there might be something you could work out. It's got to be something you could work out where you could enter in the business as a business, so you won't have to deal with all these promoters. Like I know some fighters nowadays they don't sign any long-term contracts to these promoters. They go by fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you can.
if you can, right? Trust me, I understand it's tough. I understand it's rough and it's tough, man. But you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan because you're putting your body on the line in there every single time you step in there. You're putting your health. You put you putting your body on the line and everything. So you have to make sure you cover yourself.
But as I mentioned that, remember most fighters like myself, their days start like 4:30 in the morning. Get up, do the road work, get back home, take a shower, get some breakfast, and gotta go to work. So between 4 to 5 in the morning, and go to work for another 8 hours a day. I do construction all my career, even when I was a champion, and work until 4 or 5 o'clock. Leave the construction site, go to the gym, put in another 2 hours. You're talking about from what, 5 in the morning to what, 6 at night, 6 days per week for 25 years. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work. You have to squeeze up the ginger and the lime and drink that every morning. Every morning.
Yeah, you do work. It do work. As I tell people, regardless of what you do, what you say is what is your intake make a difference. What you eat. And if you
Yes, sir.
learn to take care of your body, if you learn to take care of your body slash your temper, it will go on and on almost forever. It's like a vehicle. You take care of a vehicle, it lasts for a long time.
Yes, because I saw quite a few of your fights. I've never seen you out of shape. You always seem to maintain your weight. So you didn't have a hard time making weight or anything like that, did you?
I did as a light heavyweight. And when
Yeah.
I realized
Yes.
I
Yeah.
came in, I just jumped out the cruiserweight. And I did really good as a cruiserweight. I had no complaint. Other than that, I've been treated like an outcast. You know, otherwise, I had no problem. And the weight I walked around is the weight I fight, so that was pretty good.
That,
And
that,
and I must say, even as a light heavyweight, I fought quite a few heavyweight. As a light heavyweight, I went to cruiserweight. I did the same thing.
yeah. Because a lot of the cruiserweights they sweat down from about what 35 pounds, so they really walk around at 235, right? Or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah, and then
the
if you're a light
heavyweight.
heavyweight, about 225, right? They sweat down from 225.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I thought.
to cruiser. Yes, correct. Yeah.
Now I have a couple of names for you, and I want to see if you ever had a chance to fight them. Virgil Hill was one because I know he was a three-time cruiserweight champion. You ever had a chance to fight
No, I
him?
never did.
Okay,
No,
and
sir.
I know Mike stopped at light heavyweight and won a title, but you never had a chance to fight him. That's Mike McCullum.
No, I never did. No,
Yeah,
my McCollum was a cruiserweight, so I never get. I like heavyweight, so I never did.
yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Take it back. Take it back. My McCollum was a junior middleweight. Then he went up to middleweight, and then he finally went to light heavyweight at the end of his career.
Yeah. Like he jumped over super middleweight. I don't know why he did that, but he jumped right over it and went right to light heavyweight.
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess there was no one in the weight that he think was good for him. So my McCollum is a great fighter. You can't deny that he was one of the best. My McCollum.
Yeah. Now, did you have a wish list of fighters that you wish you could have fought, man? Like I know you did the Tommy Hearns, the Saad Muhammad's, but who did you wish you could have fought that you did not?
I didn't. I don't have someone I wish I could fight because I think since I got pretty much all the good fighters, and so I never really had a wish to fight whoever. My only desire was I want to do the best that I could, and I think I did. I work my ass off. I keep myself in shape, regardless. I don't need to have a fight to get in the gym, to get on the road, to eat right. I stay in shape constantly. But whenever time I get a phone call, then I'll be ready, regardless.
I'm so glad you said that because nowadays you hear fighters say, "Well, I can't fight with five weeks notice and 6 week notice. I need like 3 months or whatever." Go ahead. Go ahead and step in.
That's one. Again, I try to stay in shape. So if they call me fight for next week or in 2 weeks time, I'm always ready because I don't wait for the phone call to be ready. I stay ready and wait for the phone call. You see what I'm
Let
saying?
me ask you. Let me ask you a
Again,
question,
I don't.
Uriah. Today,
Yeah.
PEDs seem to be rampant in boxing. Everybody's talking about diuretics and anabolic steroids. Was there a problem back when you were fighting?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I take nothing with any kind of drugs related. Got no desire. Never know it's needed. If you take care of your body again, if you eat right, you don't need drugs unless you're a maniac. You know. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
a
a pure,
man. I
I'm
think
definitely, I'm with you on that 100%. There's no, no need for drugs in boxing. Proper nutrition is the key. But it seems like today it's everywhere. It's every chat room's talking about it. The WBC suspect that they don't suspend a fighter, and they don't follow their own rules. I mean, it seems like it's rampant today. And if I were a fighter today, frankly, if I were a manager, I'd be afraid to put my fighter in the ring against some of these guys. With some of the reputations we're hearing about the abuse of PEDs.
I think one of the reasons why they're doing that because the fighters today, I started to say it, man, they're lazy. They do not want to get out there and do what they got to do to get in shape. So they're looking for shortcut. So drugs is one who and that they use for shortcut, but it doesn't work because if you're going to ring, it's gonna show up sooner or later that you're taking drugs. So I never try to get into that. I never tried to take that avenue. It was impossible.
Yeah, I want to
But
say something
then,
real quick.
yes, sir.
I had to jump in real quick. I'm still doing what I'm doing, but when it comes to that, right? Like what you were just talking about, as far as like people not working hard. I've been saying that, like it's like people are afraid, like like it's your like who says since when does somebody is a professional in one area and not prepared to do the job when they get called for a job? You know what I mean? If you choose the
Yes,
profession
sir.
of boxing, you're getting paid very well once you fight, right? So at the end of the day, you should be prepared at all times for that, especially if you haven't had any fights, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's the whole thing that I never get about these guys nowadays. They want to cut weight last minute. No, they're talking about that they weren't going to make the weight and stuff like that. They start doing these PEDs and stuff like that. But you should have been in the gym as a professional, just already prepared for the next fight that was offered to you to make those millions of dollars. You think that I wouldn't be prepared, man? If you offer me millions of dollars once or twice a year, I'll be ready every single time you call me.
I wish I heard about the millions in my career. I hate to
Yeah, I
reward my
apologize
people.
for that, brother. They just started.
They're paying today. You know, I hate to bring this up. One of my biggest, I never get paid the way I should. Never did. I get used like a dog. They never paid me. And when they do pay me, my salary cut in less than a half. I got some fake ass contract that was not corrected. It's a dirty filthy game. And I say again, today they're getting paid, not yesterday. Today. So the guys today, they should be ready to enter the sports with a different mindset. That's why I respect a guy like Roger, like Mayweather himself. He get away from his promoter and by himself when I make money like he never could imagine himself. So if we all can do that today, which won't work, then we'll be in a better position than we are right now. I got used like a dog. I hate to tell you the way I did, because we don't have enough time for that. But these promoters and these managers, they're scumbag. I'm talking in my time. They are the wickedest people God ever created. So my heads up to those who are promoting themselves today. Emil, go ahead, sir.
Wow.
I agree with Major
But
Key.
I must say, some of these promoters and manager, they need to go to prison. They need to be locked up. But then no one initiate that. So we continue.
You know what, Uriah? I've heard these stories for 30 plus years about these guys and nothing has been done. But just to let you know, I am working on a union myself in Ring 10 boxing, right? Now,
Beautiful.
tell me this, right? If you had a union back when you were boxing, how do you think your career would have progressed better for you?
I think it will because number one with the union, I think the guy that I throw into the fight with, the guy that they throw me in the fight with, I would not be in the fight with those guys because I think I was not ready. Most of the guys would fight. I wasn't ready to fight them. But because I didn't scare, I had no fear, I did fight them. To be frank.
Correct. Because just I've heard these stories from whether the fighter was a lightweight all the way up to heavyweight to to where you are, and it's heartbreaking that you give so much to the sport, you sacrifice so much to the sport, but then again, so
Yeah.
much is taken from you as well, and it just seems like you have no recourse.
Yes, sir.
And as fans, all we could do is look outside and look in and say, well, how come you didn't know to do this? Why didn't you do that? But we have no idea what goes on behind that curtain at all. We have no idea the person's life, and circumstances or anything. We just standing outside and looking in.
There you go. It's a filthy sport. I mean, no, let's say about boxing is a wonderful sport. To me, boxing is one of the greatest sports we have ever deal with. But it is always behind the door. It's who making the deal. They are the worst creature on the planet. I'm talking promoters and manager. And I had no I had no remorse of saying it. They are the worst creature ever created on planet Earth. That's why most fighters end up with brain dead. Most of them end up homeless. Not like they were wasting their income. Is that they never get paid.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then a lot of them come in, like you say, they come in hungry, but they don't have the understanding of how to navigate the business. They put their trust in someone else, right?
Well, I
And
did.
that's yeah. Well, that trust me, you're not the only one.
I did all
Well,
my
you're right.
career. Yes, sir.
Now you kind of said it all, man. You said you had to work an 8-hour construction job. Then you had to train, and that's not counting getting up in the morning and doing your road work. So how can a fighter be expected to watch his financial situation, and still bring in the money? And plus, these fighters today, they seem to be fighting once a year, maybe twice a year. I just don't understand how the business even works anymore. It's gotten beyond me because I'm from your day, brother. I know. Fighters fought. They fought 3-4 times a year. They defended their titles. Anybody said that, there was no argument about who was the best in the divisions. They fought each other. They fought often. And today, it's not even the same type of boxers there were anymore. So I don't see how they can concentrate on their financial well-beings and still maintain themselves as a top competitive fighter anymore, or if they ever did.
Well, to be frank, if you realize now, boxing is on the back burner. Boxing is not boxing no more. It's gone. They destroyed the sport. And it can take a new set of people to lift up boxing and make it be what it was before. I don't know. I don't know who can do it because again they destroy sports really bad and nobody got the love no more. No, in fact, everybody want to be celebrity. Everybody want to be world champion. Everybody want to be famous, but nobody want to work for it, and it just does not work like that.
Everybody want dead, but nobody want to go to heaven, right?
Here we go. No, everybody want to go ahead, but nobody want to die.
Right. That's right. Peter Tosh. Peter Tosh.
Yes,
Right.
sir. Yeah. Yes,
So,
sir.
look,
Everybody want to go ahead, but nobody want to die. Nobody want to go to
that's
heaven.
right. Well, look, we're coming up on the 1 hour mark, Mr. Grant. So
Okay,
we're
brother.
gonna we're gonna ask you to give your closing remarks. Before we do all that, before we even get to all that, I want to tell you it's an honor and a pleasure, man. It took a while to get all this straight, but I tell you what, it was worth every minute. It was
I
worth every
appreciate you
second.
guys, man.
I
I
appreciate
appreciate you
you,
guys a million. Yeah.
and we're definitely gonna keep in touch with you to see how the Boss Man Gym is going. And I tell you what, you start a bakery, you make Boss Man bun, Bossman
Okay.
Bummy, right?
Okay.
Right. Everything Bossman, right?
You know what? You know what? I'm looking to a few things I want to do, but again, it's financial. It's pretty tight right now. But you mentioned those make a lot of sense. You know, cause people to the full are selling regardless of whatever it is. You know, I never think about the Bossman Bakery, but who you never know.
Yeah, I
That
tell you what. I tell you what. I'm gonna drop you some information in your inbox because I don't want to say too much on live because you
all
never know
right.
who's because you
Yes,
never know
sir.
who's listening, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'll
I'm
drop
with
you
you.
some information. But
All
look,
right.
man,
All right.
you always have a social media home with us, and we truly appreciate you. And if you go ahead and say some closing remarks, man, and just thank you again for coming out.
You know what, brother? I really ain't got much to say. I want to say, man, I really appreciate you guys for bringing me on to the end of the show and let me express some of my anger on your show. Cause I've been a hunger man for a long time with promoters and managers. Yeah, I wanna for those people who wanna be a fighter, young man, young woman, whatever it is. I want to encourage them to let them know that boxing is a really wonderful sport. But for you to be a successful fighter, you have to have the love and the passion for it. If you're gonna enter the sports of boxing to make money, you may get hurt. It's a strong possibility you're gonna get hurt. You have to have the love for the sport. If you have the love for it, you go way beyond your imagination. Um, Otherwise, my brother, my career been a rough, long road, but I really today I can sit down and say, man, it was a great walk, and I, I had some good memories, and I had some bad memories, but my good memories outweigh my bad memories. You know, wherever I go, I am treated like the way I should, like a champ, like a legend, whatever you want to frame it as. I got treated good. I go to Dubai, same thing. Wherever I go, I'm treated like a man. So again, I had less negative.
Are you still there? Are you on?
But with some
Are
of
you
you
on mute?
guys, with the Bruce.
No,
Yeah, I'm
no.
here.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So otherwise, my brother, I'm great, man. I really appreciate you all for bringing me on to your show and to express my feelings. It's been a wonderful time. Man, for the past 1 hour, I wake up. It's pretty early for me here. So I make sure I'm not late, get up in time, and get ready for the show. So thanks a million to all you guys, man,
Not a
and
problem. I tell
and
you
to
what, I'm
all
good.
my supporter for the past 25 years. I really really appreciate them.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a call or a text sometime next week. I have a show idea, but I don't want, like I said, I don't want to say too much on air. But
That's fine.
there's a certain holiday in our country, and I'm gonna see if I can get you and a couple of others on. You know which holiday that is, but don't say it. Don't say nothing
Yeah,
yet.
I catch you, brother. I catch you, man. It's good.
But
I'm,
all right, ladies and
I'm,
gentlemen, we just heard from Uriah the Bossman Grant, soon to be, the number one trainer coming out of Jamaica and the number one bakery coming out of Jamaica.
I
Hey,
don't know.
all I know is when I come home, I want some callaloo and
All right,
kale patty. All right.
all right. Guess what? Guess
Listen,
what? Guess
man.
what?
Yo,
Guess
shout
what?
out to you, Mr. Grant. Shout out to you. Thank you for showing up. I apologize. I couldn't be more involved. You know what I mean? This
Okay,
was
Major.
something I had to deal with today. But I want my bun and cheese and I want my fried dumplings when I go out there. You know what I'm saying?
Major, I'm gonna be in Mandeville, so we're gonna get link up.
All right, man. Yo,
Hey,
much
hey, Uriah,
appreciated
man.
again, brother.
Yeah, I just want to say it's a pleasure having me on the panel with you, man. You know, bringing out somebody from the past like that. You know, we want to keep you guys alive out there. You know, you've got so much to offer, bro. You got the articulation. You got your mind is sharp and clear, and you know it's a pleasure to be on a panel with you, man.
Hey, Bruce, Major, and Troy, man. I really appreciate the guy, man. I'm hoping and praying one day we can get link up, we can sit down, have a dinner together, whatever it is, talk some old time crap and, you know, relate to each other. Again, thanks.
Respect.
It's on my
man.
bucket list, man.
Much appreciated. Respect, bro.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Have a great
Thank
night,
you.
man. Close it up, Troy.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody that came out, one and all, man. And thank you for the love. Thank you for the loyalty. Thank you for the consistency and respect. Share, like, and subscribe for us, man. We definitely need that love. All right. So share, like, and subscribe for us, and we appreciate that. Thank you again to Uriah the Boss Man Grant. Bless up yourself, man.
All day.